You had to write sentences with subordinating conjunctions about the omnivore's dilemma. You all did that, which is great, and they were really good. I just want to go over some details about the subordinating conjunctions. Usually there's a little bit of confusion about some of them. Okay, so we have our time conjunctions. Most of these are pretty clear. The confusing ones are usually once, as soon as, and as long as. Okay, so once the farmer starts using hybrid seeds, he must buy new seeds every year. So once is basically the same as after. After the farmer starts using hybrid seeds, he must buy new seeds every year. So this doesn't mean one time, it means after, okay? These are good sentences, good job to the Jose's. Let's look at as soon as. As soon as farmers start organic farming, it will be better for health and environment. So this is blue because we have farmers, plural, so this is going to have no S on the verb. And we always say the environment, the environment. Okay, so as soon as, what does it have the same meaning as? It has the same meaning as when or after. The only difference is it means like right after, right? So when you use the word after, it could be any time after. But when you use as soon as, the time is closer. So this is a good example. Good job, Hellwinder. Now we have as long as. As long as has a couple of meanings, but in this case, as long as means during the time. So Ellie admired Pauline's book at the same time that she was reading the book, The Omnivore's Dilemma, right? This sentence is good, but it just has some problems of verb tenses. If you say had admired, it means you admired him before you read the book. That's past perfect. So I'm going to take off this. I admired Pauline's investigation about the chain of food as long as you could say read, probably more normal to say I was reading. It happened over a period of time, right? This sentence means you finish the book. So let's imagine that we finish the book in this sentence. Another example, since this one's a little tricky. Moms have often said this. As long as the baby is sleeping, I can talk to you. But when the baby wakes up, I have to stop, right? So during the time. Okay, moving right along. Till and until, same meaning. Meaning something happens until something interrupts it or something changes. So farmers in the United States grew different kinds of plants in their farms till they realized the economic benefits of corn. So this was a change happened, right? I didn't know that one of many ingredients in most foods is made from corn until I read the book. So I didn't know, and then something changed. So those are really good examples. Okay, when and while, pretty much the same meaning. I feel like everyone knows those. One problem here. No, those are great. Okay, by the time. By the time she called me. What is the meaning of by the time? It means pretty much the same thing as when. It means something happened sometime before. Okay? You could say before too, I guess, in this case. By the time she called me, when she called me, or before she called me, I was at class yesterday. So sometime before. That's a good example and a good comma, Mohammed. Okay, though, even though, although, all of those have the same meaning, and while too. So while can be about time or it can be about contrast. So all of these show that one idea is different or surprising. Though the crop of corn is high, the farmer is not rich. That's a great example. We think he would be rich if he's making a lot of corn, but he's not. So it's surprising. Even though people work hard as always, they are still suffering from poverty. This is a good sentence, but it's not about the omnivore's dilemma. Okay, so to get full points, make sure you read your directions carefully. Even though farmers, if you said farmers, you would be talking about the omnivore's dilemma. Okay, although farmers grow more corn than before, they are still poor. Yes, so same idea as Wesley. While farmers are doing hard work, still their members have to find other jobs for family support. Yeah, so this is surprising too. They're working hard, but they still can't support their families. This is red because hard work should be separate. And what's wrong with this one, the blue one? It says another jobs. Jobs is plural, but another means one other. So it's confusing. So we either could say another job or change this one to the plural, other jobs. Now it matches in time. I'm sorry, in number. Okay, good. So let's look at Yelda and Jose Antonio here, cause effect. I'm sure you know because or since, but just be careful. Sometimes I see the word because used very sloppily. Because introduces the reason for something. So if you don't have a reason, if you're not showing a reason, don't use because. I think it's a bad habit. Sometimes people just say because. But you really need a reason after because. In the United States, they add beef scraps ground up in the cattle food because they want the cattle grow fast. Yes. No cattles. Cattle is non-count, so we don't put an S. And we want to say cattle. They want the cattle. When you want something, you want it to happen. They want the cattle to grow. All right, moving on. The price of corn has dropped a lot since the government changed the policy. So in this case, since is also cause effect. You can also use since with time. It has two meanings. Okay. Now we have condition. If, even if, only if, unless, whether or not. These usually cause the most confusion. If I don't read the omnivore's dilemma, I don't know about the industrial food chain. So the meaning is good here, but the verb tenses are weird. So if presents an imaginary situation. When you present an imaginary situation, you have to say, if I didn't. I think this is called conditional. If I didn't read the omnivore's dilemma, I wouldn't know. Right? Or you could say, if I hadn't. Okay. So let's do another one with if, just to practice those verb forms. Okay, I don't know. If we didn't meet, I would still be alone. So I'm imagining a situation where we didn't meet. Right? All right, good. Now I want to point out that before we looked at, what was it? I just forgot. As long as. So as long as usually has the same meaning as if. This is the most common way to say it, as long as. Okay? So as long as could be farmers will grow corn as long as the government provides a subsidy. My spelling is bad today. Okay, farmers will grow corn as long as the government provides a subsidy. So in this case, as long as is like if. Farmers will grow corn if the government provides a subsidy. Yeah? All right. Even if and only if are different. Even if is a situation where nothing can change your mind, not even this one thing. So even if your body asks for fast food, don't buy it because it's very unhealthy. So it's like saying, not even this can change your mind. Yeah? So let's do another example with even if. This is a good sentence, Marina. The only problem is that even if your body asks for fast food is a dependent clause. So what do you need to do? You need to put a comma. Right? Okay, so here's another example. I won't eat conventional. So conventional is the opposite of organic. Okay, so I won't eat conventional chicken even if the store is out of organic. So even this situation, I should say can't change my mind. Yeah? Only if is, the meaning is you will only do something if a certain condition is met. Okay, so it gives you one condition that would make something possible. One situation that makes something possible. So, only if you want to get real food, you must go. Okay, so this is almost the right idea. I'm going to change it around a little bit, Ellie. You can get natural food, only if you go to a farmer's market. Now, this is not totally true. You could go to a natural food store too. But let's imagine that we only have one choice to get natural food. You can get natural food only if you go to a farmer's market. Okay? Or if I look at my conventional chicken example, I will eat chicken only if it is organic. Okay? Okay. Unless farmers depend on government subsidies unless the price of corn goes up. Okay, that doesn't totally make sense. Unless gives a situation where something might happen, right? And the price of corn doesn't go up. So what could we say? Farmers will depend on government subsidies unless we change the policy. Okay?